back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all what it's like to be an international student in the Philippines, and this is also my experiences as an international student in the Philippines. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get notified whenever I post new videos here. The number one reason on my list of what it's like to be an international student in the Philippines is having your school IDs and alien cards. Okay, so this is one thing I realized about schools in the Philippines. Like for my school, University of Cordilleras, Baguio City, Philippines, once you're entering or exiting the school campus, you always have to have your ID scanned so that your face and your department will reflect to show that, okay, this person is a student of this school. And I'm sure this is pretty much done in other schools in the Philippines. It's also very important to avoid unnecessary problems. So it's advisable for you to have your IDs, like you put it on, you wear it as a necklace each time you're going to the school, because sometimes you might actually forget it. So it's safer when you put it on your neck, so that once you're there, you can just have it scanned so that your face and your department will reflect together with your name. Okay, so this is how it's done in my school, and it's actually, at first I found it very stressful and annoying because I have to wear the school ID each time I'm going to the school or exiting. No matter how many times you enter the school or exit the school, you have to have your face scanned with your ID. So it was really much, it was like very annoying for me at first, but as time goes on, time actually takes care of everything. I actually got used to it, and each time I'm going to school, I'm always putting on my school IDs, like every school days, because my school is from, like my school, we have classes from Mondays to Saturdays. So each time I'm going out for classes, I always have my ID. I put it on as a necklace. So it became a habit. I got used to it. So once I'm going to the school, I always have my ID scanned, and each time I'm exiting the school campus, I also have my ID scanned. So this is what you have to experience as an international student in the Philippines. Number one, school ID. You have to have your school IDs and also your alien cards there, because sometimes your alien card is like, once you have something you need to do in the school, of course, or maybe your family like sent you money, and it's not safe carrying your international passport on and off, so it's safer with the alien cards. That one is much like portable, it's safer, so you can use your alien cards to like get your money through Western Union, MoneyGram, or whatever means you use in getting your money. So, and your school ID is also important because they need to know if you're actually a student here in the Philippines. So you have to carry your IDs, that's your alien card and school IDs. So moving on to number two. The number two reason on my list would be top security, because you see, my school, University of Cordilleras, has this record of producing top notchers during board exams from criminology department. My school is like literally the best school to study criminology in the Philippines. So of course we have about few gates, like I think about 5 gates in my school, like for entrances. When you're going to the school, you have to pass through these gates. Like you can either go through gate 1, gate 2, gate 5. I normally use gate 5 and gate 2. So because most of my classes are either in the N building or S building, so I usually use these 2 gates to go in for my classes. So we have security men, but criminology students, of course, need to live up to that expectation, of course. So they help out in guiding the school. They're also part of our security team. So they help in staying at these different gates to check, make sure the students, people that are going in are actually students of the school. Of course, we have visitors from other schools, like our friends visiting us, but they have to check, like they search you, check your bags to know if you're carrying anything that is you're not meant to carry into the school. And also, if you're a student, you have to scan your ID for them to be sure, okay, this person is actually one of us. You need to make sure of that. So they're in charge of the school security. They make sure that the students in the school are safe. And as long as you're in the school premises, you're safe. Unless maybe you're outside the school and you encounter like one or two issues there, which is also rare as long as you're in the Philippines. Because Philippines is really very nice. Like people are welcoming and they're very hospitable. So this is it about the security, like top security on campus. This is what I noticed, in my school. I'm sure this is also done in other schools in the Philippines. So guys, my number 3 tip I'm going to be giving of what it's like to be an international student in the Philippines is we prefer referring to our instructors and professors as sirs and ma'ams. Of course, I know that in other countries like in Australia, in the UK, in Canada or USA, they prefer referring to their instructors as professors, instructors, right? Or probably those with doctorates, like their PhDs, they would prefer calling them Dr. This, Dr. That. But in the Philippines, even with your PhD, it's rare students calling you Dr. Valiente, Dr. Karayugan. No, we prefer calling our instructors like Ma'am Karayugan, Ma'am Valiente, Sir Soriano, Sir Eldon. So this is how it's done. If you're in the Philippines studying, I'm sure you know about this. And if you're planning on going to the Philippines to study, you should be aware of this, okay? We prefer referring to our instructors as sirs and ma'ams, all right? My 4th tip would be make sure you're living close to school campus, okay? In case you have like 7:30 classes, like you have a class by 7:30, you could actually get up early, prepare for school, and then head out at least 6:40, 6:50, you're on your way. And if you're really living close to the school, it's to your own advantage, okay? If there's no traffic, of course, you could be in school like in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes. But if there's traffic, oh my God, you could spend like lots of minutes or even an hour on the way going to school. Like for me, I tried as much as possible staying close to school. My apartment is usually like very close to school. It could take me like 5 to 10 minutes going to school if there's no traffic. But if there's traffic, I could spend like 30 minutes or 45 minutes on the way to get to school. So it's advisable waking up very early and living close to school campus. With this, I think you can't be late for classes. Okay, so avoid unnecessary lateness. Try as much as possible living close to school campus. Okay, this is my tip. I'm talking from my own experience. Okay, the 5th tip I'll be giving is you getting prepared for the numerous group activities. Okay, so in case you don't have a social media account like Facebook, Instagram, blah blah blah, try to create one for yourself. Like this also happened to me at first when I was being asked by my group mates, like, okay, each time we have a group activity, we're like, okay, so do you have a Facebook account? Can you give me so I can add you to the group? And then I didn't have any social media accounts. Of course, I knew social medias like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those existed, but I didn't have any accounts. So I was forced to create one because in my school, we use Facebook a lot for group activities. We have a group page. We have groups. We communicate with each other on Facebook. So if you're not on those groups, if you're not using your Facebook to join those groups, you will really miss out a lot because most handouts, like most manuals school give, like your instructors will give out, are usually through those. They send it through those Facebook groups. So you have to have a Facebook account. Most importantly, a Facebook account. So to join in, not to miss out on any updates from the school or from your classmates, the group mates. So if you're in the Philippines already studying, I'm sure you know about this. But if you're preparing to go there, this is a tip I'm giving you. If you don't have a social media account like Facebook, try to create one for yourself, okay? Because you'll be needing that a lot. Guys, the 6th tip I'll be giving is you knowing your class schedule. This is really important because you might have a 7:30 class and you think your classes might be starting around 11:10. You're going to be late and you'll miss out because attendance really matters, okay? You being in class, listening, taking notes, and also hearing it one on one from your instructors is really very important. So try as much as possible to know your class schedule so you won't miss out on any class and you won't be late. Okay, this is really very important, guys. All right. One tip I'll be giving guys is getting prepared about the weather and also the natural disasters that actually happens in the Philippines, like the earthquake, floods, and typhoons, of course. So because you get to experience this, if you ask Filipinos, they'll tell you they have two seasons only, like the wet and dry season. But these natural disasters also occurs, so you have to be prepared. Because in my school, we usually have these earthquake drills, fire drills, just to get you prepared once you encounter such situations. And of course, like in the lowlands, some provinces, they encounter floods, like their houses everywhere gets flooded, and the typhoons, oh my goodness, that one, I don't know what to say. The typhoons are pretty much scary, especially when it's very heavy. Okay, the weather changes everywhere, is so cold, the wind is too much, and also you encounter blackouts. There will be no light because once there's a heavy typhoon, you won't get to see light. Okay, so these are the things you need to get prepared to witness, to experience if you're in the Philippines studying or if you're planning to go there to study. Okay, have this at the back of your mind, so be prepared for it. All right. So guys, the eighth tip I'll be giving is you gaining lots of attention from the locals. Yeah, the Filipinos. Because Filipinos love international students, they love foreigners. So if you're an international student in the Philippines or you're a foreigner in the Philippines, be prepared to get lots of attention from the locals. Okay, from Filipinos, because they love foreigners a lot. They love it, they love the fact that you actually came to their country to study, to live with them, to experience their culture, to have new environment, to be with them, to be with their people. And Filipinos are so warm, they're so hospitable, very nice people. And believe me, trust me on this, you will love it there. Okay. The ninth tip I'll be giving is this, guys, is try Filipino foods, not just the American foods or I would say the foreign eateries. Try the local foods, okay, the Filipino native foods. This is the area you need to explore as a foreign student in the Philippines. So try to hang out with your Filipino friends, let them introduce you to their native foods. You will love it, like the chicken adobo, the chicken curry, the afritada, all those native dishes. Try them a lot before you can start going to the foreign eateries like Jollibee, Magdo, or Chowking. So before trying out the American foods, try the native Filipino foods. It's very important, okay? Try to explore the culture, their native foods and everything. It's also important, all right? The 10th and last tip I'll be giving, but of course I do have like lots of experiences, things I could really share with you of being an international student in the Philippines, but I'll be stopping right here, okay? So is that the 10th tip is that there is no language course needed for you before you could actually start studying in the Philippines. Like in most countries like Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, Germany, France, all these countries that don't use English as their official language, you have to learn their language for about a year to you got to start speaking or probably understand them before you could start studying there. But in the Philippines, it's not actually done that way. Of course, if we have foreign students here in Nigeria, you're like entitled to like learn Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, like a minor course, but it's not like official. You have to understand and start speaking Igbo before you could start studying Nigeria. No, just like in the Philippines, you learn their language just for you to understand the basic terms, that you actually need in your daily activities, daily life in the Philippines. Okay, like the minor things like good morning, or like you're riding a taxi, jeepney, like things you need to say to the drivers, or if you're buying something, like those elderly women that don't actually understand English, just for you to like get along well, okay? So you learn Filipino 1, Filipino 2 as basic and minor courses, not like it's officially like you have to take it as a course for at least 1 year before you start studying in the Philippines. No, you don't need these language courses. You just, once you arrive at the Philippines, you can actually start studying without learning the language. So this is like my tips to you and what you need to know about being a foreign student in the Philippines. From my own experiences, I'm giving you these tips, okay? And these are your advantages of being an international student in the Philippines. What you need to know. If you're there, I'm sure you know about this. And if you're planning to go, I think you need to watch this video, okay? For you to know what you need to experience being there and how you need to go about it. Okay? So guys, thank you for watching this video. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, try subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll be seeing my next video, and I wish you all clear blue skies. Bye bye.